From dawn till dusk, Ford trucks are with you every mile of the way. And we'd like to say thank you, Farm Bureau, for your partnership and support to help make Ford F-Series the best-selling pickup in America once again.
After a 30-year stint in the military serving their country, Laura Russell Varhola and her husband Chris Varhola made the decision to serve their local community in retirement. The pair and their children Conrad and Madeleine moved to Freeland, Michigan in 2019 to take over the blueberry farm owned and operated by Laura's parents since 1989.
My dad started out, he was Vietnam era and started in the military, so that was always something that, our family grew up wanting to serve and spend time in the military. I didn't think I would spend 30 years in the military, but it's something that took, and I enjoyed it. And I met my husband in the military, so we made a career of it both together. We were both active duty for 30-year careers. When my parents were here and they were getting older and it was harder to maintain the farm, we had that family powwow of whether or not to keep the farm in the family. And so it just happened that my husband and I were transitioning, retiring from the military, and it would just made a seamless kind of time frame for us to come in and take over the farm.
So I did 30 years in the Army, and at the end of 30 years, you have a lot of options, and my wife and I sat down and looked at our options, and at the end of the day, the options balance between working and continuing to work in an office, perhaps with no windows, and commuting through a major urban area every day, or coming and running our own farm. The conversation lasted about 6 minutes, and we decided to come and run our own farm. So it's the family farm, and her parents were at a point where they weren't really able to continue working it. So we had a very limited window to make a decision. And that window, it lined up with when we retired from the military and when they were really unable to continue the farm themselves. So it was a pretty seamless transition. We had their expertise and we had our muscle and energy. It's very similar to the military, actually, being a farmer. We assess the situation, we assess the threat, we assess the conditions, soil, weather. We figure out what tasks need to be done and we come up with a plan to do them.
We have an 80-acre piece of property, of which 22 acres are high bush blueberries. We have 12 different varieties of blueberries. The varieties come in at different times during the season, so we're able to keep our season kind of spread out and open to the public more. We also have a 10-acre lake on our property, which is kind of nice for families who want to come out and make an afternoon of it, have a picnic, swing on the swings. We have tire swings under the trees with picnic tables. So yeah, it's just a neat venue for families to come out. So early in the season we do early blues. They're our first starting in early June, and then we transition into the Spartan berries, which are very popular because they tend to be very large berries right from the beginning. We have Patriot berries early on, and then we start going into our blue rays, which are also a very popular berry. So far the season's been great. We opened a couple days earlier than we did last year, and we needed rain, and so that was kind of holding up some of the ripening, which was okay because it gave people time to come pick what was ripe before the other ones came in. Our season is basically July and August of every year. Sometimes we've gone as far as Labor Day, but the weather has been changing so much recently that it's really impacted our ability to stay open that long. Last year we closed right at the beginning of August just because of the heat and the sun and the rain combination. Just our berries ripen way faster than they normally do, but we hope to stay open this year until mid-August. Obviously our bread and butter is you-pick, having folks come out and pick themselves, but we have a lot of folks who just on their way home want to just pick up something that's already pre-picked. So we do hire pickers, but it's very hard based on what we can sell our blueberries for to compete with minimum wage or even what someone makes in McDonald's or the fast food industry. So we struggle with getting the right folks who are willing to work outside in the hot sun for a few hours every day to pick. So we struggle with managing that.